Don in London, hello. It's June 20th, 2009. My video's all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. And my substance was alcohol, my behaviour, workaholic, relationshipaholic, gymaholic, you name it, any old holic. And it's interesting that we can go from one addiction to another, or combine them all together and become completely self-obsessed, isolated, and thinking the world is doing something to us which it's not. Simply, addiction really does make us have a very, very, very difficult outlook. And what I've learned over recent years is how to keep sober one day at a time, and then not cross-addict into other behaviour, which could be workaholic, gymaholic, relationshipaholic, or actually just find the balance of how life may work. The balance of life, I guess that's really my theme. Always the balance of life. And what helps me most? Family, community, society, medical people, and a fellowship of AA, Alcoholics Anonymous. So what I've learned is keep sober, and the rest we can sort out, and get to active choices rather than being self-obsessed, shut down, and only one purpose in life, which is to drink. So from not drinking these days, from a place of drinking every day, 24/7, unable to stop. Life so bad, I wanted never to wake up on a daily basis. That's where it took me, and I need to remind myself of that quite often. So the best way for me is to go to fellowship meetings, and at each meeting we'll find people there maybe from 1 hour sober, or not quite sober, through to decades sober. And the difference in outlook is simply what we learn a day at a time. So it's accumulated wisdom over the years, I guess, and the first few days are the worst, because we have the compulsion, the craving, and the absolute agony of not being able to self-medicate into oblivion. And I did that for a long time, and I didn't even know I was really an alcoholic until I admitted it and accepted it. And I know when the 24/7 drinking started, around about 2001, 2002, but before that the warning signs were there, and I couldn't heed them because it meant that I was less than anybody else because I had an addiction. So these days I recognise the addiction and the addictive behaviour, either substance or behaviour, that's it, and I try and make the best of what I have, trying to keep sober, or living sober is a better way of putting it and expressing it. But there is a preamble shared at every AA meeting which helps me slow down into the moment, and whether we're a newcomer to the fellowship or an old timer, I'm not one of those yet, although in some places I probably am. But the preamble shared at every meeting goes like this, and it reminds us what it's all about. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help other alcoholics to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. So one primary purpose, just sobriety, so that we can get our life choices back. And I used to write lots of diaries and stick them on the internet, and they're still out there somewhere. And I've been experimenting with the extranormal.com, where you can put text in and you get a little cartoon character expressing words. So the words are mine, the character you need not look at, but I find it very fascinating what technology will do. And for the princely sum of, I don't know, just a few pennies a day, we can make anything from script into a movie. So I'm extremely pleased about that. It's an experiment, and some of it may be useful or it may not be. I don't know yet. I'll see how it goes. But the gift is keeping on track, keeping sober, so I can experiment. And yesterday my 5-day course finished, which was all about how to manage or live with type 1 diabetes. And I met some very good people who from 30 years dealing with type 1 diabetes through to me 2 or 3 years, I think nearly 4, well, whatever number of years it is. We all learned from day one, and by day 5, the whole process gave us something which was almost immeasurable. How on earth could we have got all that wisdom over the years just to get where we are, and then find that we can get even more wisdom in a very comprehensive and quite intensive 5-day program? And the answer is we all got a lot out of it. And if I manage my diabetes better, my overall outlook could be better. And dropping my book. All fingers and thumbs this morning. I'm still tired out by the experience. I haven't done any intensive learning like that for quite a long time, other than going to AA meetings, of course, and looking around and seeing what the world has to offer. So, yeah, I'm very pleased, and although I might be tired and fatigued, that's not the issue. The issue is I've got some more learning, and it means that maybe I'll extend my life a little bit more. Because believe you me, even though I thought I knew how to manage my type 1 diabetes or live with it, I've found even more out, and I think we were all quite surprised just what we could do. And part of the program was eat what you like. And as a type 1 diabetic, we always thought we couldn't eat sugar, couldn't do this, couldn't do that. But again, it comes down to moderation and knowing the insulin does work if we use the appropriate things with it, carbohydrates in the right measure, and then we can keep our blood sugars under control to avoid stroke, heart attack, or limbs being taken off because they don't work anymore. And that's quite serious, it's true, but I'm rambling on here. Daily reflections for today, and I really am pleased that I did this course. It's made a huge difference to my confidence to manage the type 1 diabetes. Oh, irony, release from fear. This is what it says, June 20th, 1-page day. Here we go. The problem of resolving fear has 2 aspects. We shall have to try for all the freedom from fear that is possible for us to attain. Then we shall need to find both the courage and grace to deal constructively with whatever fears remain. Most of my decisions were based on fear. Alcohol made life easier to face, but the time came when alcohol was no longer an alternative to fear. One of the greatest gifts in AA for me has been the courage to take action, which I can do with God's help. After 5 years of sobriety, I had to deal with a heavy dose of fear. God put the people in my life to help me do that, and through my working the 12 steps, I am becoming the whole person I wish to be, and for that I am deeply grateful. I could almost have written that about me, and 5 years in, I get a course on how to deal with my type 1 diabetes, not caused by lifestyle, I hasten to add. It was a virus. Most people get type 1 in their 20s, and I was nearly 50. So the gift is we keep on learning. And, whether you believe in God or good conscience or a higher power, which looks like a chair leg or a lamp post, doesn't matter. What matters is we're not God. What matters is we have a good conscience. What matters is faith, courage, and being able to live in the moment. So all the higher powers around me are in the universe, and there must be purpose behind it all. After all, what else would be the point? And I've been there too. As Bill sees it, another day at a time. Page 132, spot checking. A spot check inventory taken in the midst of disturbances can be of very great help in quieting stormy emotions. Today's spot check finds its chief application to situations which arise in each day's march. The consideration of long-standing difficulties had better be postponed, when possible, to times deliberately set aside for that purpose. The quick inventory is aimed at our daily ups and downs, especially those where people or new events throw us off balance and tempt us to make mistakes. And that could have been me. I was frightened to go in this course. I went. I learned more than I could imagine. So the serenity prayer: God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, with a lot of help in this case, and the wisdom to know the difference, and it is always just for today.